Bam. Okay. Should we go to our intro?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's take a second and just all right, we are back. Episode 2. Get it together, girl.
We made it. Yay!
We did make it. I am Lisa.
I am Crystal.
And we are back again. You wanted to give a little update?
Yes, I want to give a little update. So if you recall our last episode, we were talking about why we couldn't understand why you would give us limits on the storage space in our emails. It makes no sense because the internet is infinite. And as one of my brothers graciously told me, no, it's not. And so I Googled it because Google is our best friend. So according to theguardian.com.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Guardian official.
There is no limit to the size of the internet, as it is just a way of connecting computers. The number of computers that can be connected is finite, 2 to the 32nd power. I'm not mathematical, so I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Stephen Hawking, can you come help us? I feel like Google is getting us on this one. I feel like it sounds like scamish. It sounds like there's extra space.
Wait, hold on. and we are approaching the boundary, but there is a new system being put into practice that should resolve that. But this is from, I don't know what year this is from, but there's another one. It says, what is the capacity of the internet? Because clearly we're not the only ones with this question. So it says in 2014, someone posted a study in the Journal of Supercomputing Frontiers and Innovations.
Sure. Fancy, sounds great.
Estimating the storage capacity of the internet at 10 to the 24th power bytes, or 1 million exabytes. A byte is a data unit comprising of 8 bits and is equal to a single character in one of the words you are reading now. So basically, the internet is not infinite. It is finite, but it is, to us lowly humans who don't understand mathematicals, it's infinite. We go stay with that.
That was something else. Okay, we're gonna have to learn about exabytes because you were saying words, but I didn't understand them. So I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm like, I know she's saying things, but okay.
Listen, there's an answer. I told you someone was gonna point out to us that we were gonna be wrong. And it'd be your own people. My brother was like, actually.
Yeah, your brother would definitely be the one to be like, actually, Crystal, what you fail to realize is, please.
Oh my God.
So that was your update. My update from our last topic of you're a virgin who can't drive is that I did a driving lesson.
You did.
For the first time in I want to say 10 years that I drove a car, and I didn't crash it. Nothing bad happened. It was totally fine. And it kind of is wild to me because I'm a full adult, I very old, but it's crazy that we let children drive cars. When you think about it, in some states you can be 15 or 16 and get a license. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's crazy when you think about it. Imagine us at 16 with licenses. What? I mean, I have my license at 20, but at 16 and to have a car and driving it around.
Listen, I get reminded of that all the time because I have cousins who are older than me, 15, 16, 14 years older than me, math. And they have kids who are younger than me, obviously. And when they were teenagers, they live in Florida. So when they were teenagers, as a rite of passage, they get their driver's license. And so one of my brothers, the same one who was actually, was aren't you embarrassed that your 14, 15, 16-year-old cousin's kid has a license and you don't. And I was like, where do they live? Florida. Where do we live? New York. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for you.
I would have been embarrassed if it got to the point where my baby cousins were like
driving around.
Yeah, like in
Come on, Miss Daisy. Come on, Miss Daisy.
If they got there, if they're like, well, Lizzie is 15 now. She got her license, Lisa. Guess who's going to Six Flags over Houston? Not you. I would not be invited.
No, all right. In the back.
Should we jump into our first topic?
Yes, please. Take it away.
We have our 2 titles. Right? Okay. What? Like the back of a Volkswagen? And the customer is always an asshole. For the Mallrats fans. We know you're out there. Crystal hasn't seen Mallrats in a while. I've seen it, but it relates to our topic of we took the bus to the mall, y'all. It was, I don't recommend.
It was a 40-minute bus ride.
Girl, I was like, are we going cross country? Is this bitch a Greyhound?
We were sitting in the back of the bus, and that's the thing. On the way there, it was fine because we were talking, and we were like, "Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that!" And then on the way back with our bag of stuff, it was like we had to wait at the bus stop. We had like
several. We had bus changes, guys. There was like several buses. It wasn't even like a direct route. The going there, we had to walk like 20 minutes to get to the bus stop, and then coming back we had to switch.
Oh my god.
I don't recommend, and it's because we like don't really drive, and even if we do, we don't. I mean, well, you have a car, but that's kind of that car is incapacitated at the moment. But
yeah, she's sick. She's there. She's there. She's only here for a good time, not a long time, or maybe she's only here for a long time, not a good time.
She's got no one drives her. She got a touch of the car COVID. She'll get over it, but it led
oh my god,
it led to us taking the bus, and really nothing is gonna humble you more. Like when you think like, I got it together, I made dinner 4 times this week, and I did my laundry, and I've mopped and organized stuff, and then you're like, here I am getting on the bus to the mall. And then coming back with our bags of Primark goodies.
Love it. It was her first time at Primark. I was like, listen, there's a Primark. She's like, what is that? What the fuck is that? And I was like, oh, you've never, now she knows. Now she knows. Guys. Now she knows. And then so then we took the bus to the mall. But then being at the mall, it was like a whole nother I've been to the mall several times with my family, and we're just there, but something about being with your high school best friend at the mall, watching other high schoolers.
It was something.
It was like, oh shit, people really still do this. And because of where I live, the mall is very like a mall you would see in a movie, like a very suburban, like, oh, this is a mall. There's a huge food court. People legit go to the food court, sit with their friends, walk. It was like being in the 90s and 2000s all over again, but at 34, and looking at these kids just walking around with their bubble tea, and they're just like, and I was just like, what? Their mom pants, their mom jeans, just going to the different stores.
We didn't have bubble tea. We had Jamba Juice.
Yeah. I mean,
Jamba Juice was really
I've never had Jamba Juice. I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm actually not a juice person, guys, because I'm actually like a psycho, and I only drink water. Everywhere I go, I'm just straight up water.
It has her own hydro flask.
At all times. It's next to me. It's next to my hydro flask.
All she needed at the beginning of the pandemic was a scrunchie. What was it? The hydro flask, the scrunchies, Save the Turtle. What was it? What was the TikToks where they're making fun of the girls with the hydro flasks?
Oh, I don't remember, but listen, I even ordered a new hydro flask because this is a 32 ouncer, but then I had to up it to a 40 ounce.
He's committed. I am not. I have so many bottles,
Gotta get that
reusable
water.
bottles in my house, and my mom gets really upset when she comes to visit because she'll open the cabinet and they'll fall out on top of her.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As a 34-year-old, I hid the bottle that I bought. I like very opened it like in secret and like very quickly put it in a cabinet because I knew she would be like, "Oh my God, Lisa, another
Another one.
bottle? Look
We
how many
need options.
bottles. We
We
don't
need.
have room here," and then it'll be a whole thing.
But listen, you're committed because you bring that big ass bottle with you all the time. But then you're willing to carry your shit in that tote. Like she'll have like
Don't talk
her
about my toe. We don't need to get into my
no. But it's like, but you see how I live. I put all the shit in my pocket.
I
And
don't
then I'm like,
have a
could you
lot of
put
pockets. I never have a lot of pockets.
if I can't put it in my pocket, I don't want to take it. And then I started wearing a fanny pack as like the crossbody.
My crossbody fanny. Yeah, that's my go-to.
And it's like, but it's like, well, no matter where we go, you're good with the water, you're good with the snacks. Like if we were to ever be stranded, I would just be like, Lee, I'm thirsty. I got you, girl.
Like at
Just
one
take a sip
point,
though.
yeah, I'm stingy like that. Like whenever I'm at the beach with my mom and she runs out of water, she's like, "Can I have some?" And I'm like, "Ugh, okay, but don't drink all of it." And I'm like very like, "Ugh, get your own water. We only live 2 miles from the beach. What were you thinking? Just bring more."
Oh my God.
But you asked at one point when we were at the mall, you were like, "What is even in that bag?" And I was like, "Everything. I got my water. I got my Lysol wipes.
You
I
brought a
got
book,
I had a book,
snacks,
snacks. I have a pepper spray just in case.
just in cases.
We got everything. Can we say that it was a Staten Island mall? Is that okay?
I mean, sure, we could say
For
that.
anyone who knows, it's a Staten Island mall. Staten Island. We did not see a Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson.
Yeah, before you asked, we didn't see them there. She
We didn't
doesn't.
see
I
them.
don't feel like she'd go to Staten Island Mall. She'd
Yes,
still
they
like
didn't
drive to New
they?
Jersey.
Didn't they
They
go on a
went.
date to
They
the
went.
AMC?
Not to that AMC. They went to. There's this one that is like. I've been there, but it's out of the way, kind of. And so I figured when I saw that they went to that one specifically, I was like, because people go there, but no one goes there. So if you're from New York, if you're from Staten Island specifically, you know which theater I'm talking about. I went there on a class trip once when I was a teacher. They took the kids to that movie theater, and
It's cute.
it was chaotic. And so yeah, so I don't think they've ever been to the mall, but the theater at that mall is pretty nice. So maybe, but
Should we take another bus to that mall?
what mall?
Is there another mall in Staten Island?
So there's like there's another mall, but it's not really like a mall. Like not like that. Like it's like the stores are spread out, so you have to like go across the street to each store. They're not all in one building.
Oh, that's how they have it, like Jersey and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, I hadn't been to a mall in I can't even think of how many years it had been, like a decade at least. So when I got there and I saw everything, I'm like, but everything is here for us. This is so convenient.
Remember when that little kid was walking past us and he was like, "There's a movie theater in the mall? What?" And I was like,
"It doesn't make sense."
And I was like, true that. But then I remember that the mall that we used to go to when we were younger also had a movie theater, sticky ass floors, miss it.
I don't think I ever went in that movie theater, but I feel like every mall has to have a movie theater. Like I feel like that's like standard. Like remember, like I brought up Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like remember he worked in the movie theater. Like that's just like you have true. Your sneaker store, movie theater, the teen store, the cookie place,
the eyeglass place.
Yeah. And then there's always gonna be like a weird, like what did we have on the day? What was that store with that had all the like it was like suggestive t-shirts and like
Hot Topic?
Not Hot Topic. It was something else. I'll think of it. But it was like Spencer's.
Yes.
Spencer's. Yeah. Always one of those stores that just has like fun things.
That's probably where my whole graphic tee affair thing came from. Going to Spencer's and Hot Topic and just like graphic tee. But I feel like I wasn't edgy enough to wear those. Like they were very niche t-shirts and I'm like, I don't want to be a poser. So I'm gonna buy t-shirts that are things I actually, because you know there are people who like will buy graphic tees and just be like anime tees like because they want to be cool, and I'm like, I don't want to be that person. I got called out once because I was wearing the Defenders the Marvel the Defenders t-shirt that I got from work. It was like a promo, and some guy was like, "Oh, the Defenders." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you like the show?" I was like, "Oh, I actually never watched it." He's like, "So why are you wearing it?" And I was like,
immediately I'd be like, get away from me. Don't even ask. Don't walk away. Like I remember I used to work at I used to work at a minor league baseball stadium, and like when you're a woman and you say you like sports, every man's first thing is like, name 5 players. And I mentioned,
and their stats.
oh my God, so annoying. And I mentioned to someone, I was like, I like the Yankees. And he's like, really? Really? Name 5. And I named like 7. He was like, oh, I guess you're a fan. And I guess at the time I was like 20, so I felt the need to prove it. But now I just feel like, bro, like hit the bricks, get the fuck out of my face. Like, why are you talking to me? I don't even know you. Why are you talking? Like, you're a stranger. Get the fuck away from me, you weirdo. 6 feet apart. I'm tired of this invading my space.
This is the energy that we took to the mall.
Constantly.
On the bus. We took this energy to the mall on the bus.
I was just complaining to someone I was with today. I was like, what's with people who sit right next to you? I hate this. Personal space. We need to keep this.
Damn.
And on the personal space note, should we move to our topic 2? I feel like that was a weird segue, but I'm gonna roll with it.
We're gonna listen. We're still getting it together. Thank you so much. So topic 2 also has 2 titles. It is, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
Boop.
You know. And eat the cake anime.
Say it the way Beyonce says it. Eat the cake. And remember she says it in the song. What was that song? Remember it was her Drunken Love. That was it. This was my motion for her having wet hair.
And it wasn't her, it was Jay who said
That's right.
So I can't bring up his, I hear it in my head. I can't reenact it. So I'm sorry to everyone for disappointing me. I disappoint me all the time. Disappointing you.
All right, let's tell them why that's our
okay.
titles.
So we often talk about the fact that, you know, at this age that we are at, this expectation of us, we should have been married by now. We're spinsters, according to Bridgerton. And and it's like that expectation is so,
it's outdated.
And it's like, I think about that sometimes. It's like, I remember growing up and imagining, I was just talking to my friend, like what I imagined my wedding would be like. And I'm like, what is it that I want to be married? Like I as Lisa would say, I'm a kind of a hopeless romantic, right? I tend to like, I love. And
you watch those like proposal videos and shit, and I'm just
I cry at those proposal videos, like the surprise proposal.
Ugh, I hate it.
I'm over here like, oh, and she's like, ugh.
What is this? Kids going to prom?
Oh, promposals. So cute.
Oh, girl.
Anyways, so but I think about the fact that, like, do I love, or do I, specifically the topic of marriage, do I like the idea of marriage or love the idea of marriage, whatever, because I actually like it, or is it because society has trained women specifically to want that? Yeah. That's the end goal. What did she say? The writer, I forget her name, and even if I remembered her name, I would butcher it, so I'm not gonna try. But you know, she
I have one of her books.
CH.
She's Nigerian, I want to say.
Yeah. So it's like we train women to, like, the goal is to be married to a man, or to be married in general. And it's like, why? And sometimes
Chimamanda, was that it? Was that her first name?
I met her, kind of. I ran
you met her.
I kind of said hi to her at work, and I kept going. Because I was like, hello. Goodbye. Okay, great. But, and it's like, looking at the things now, maybe because we've been stuck in the house for 2 years and like people and TikTok, Instagram, social media, social media has been a platform to overexpose yourself or underexpose yourself, whatever. But marriage seems ghetto.
Marriage seems mad ghetto.
It
To be
seems a little bit
honest.
ghetto. Like, props to those who have successful marriages. My aunt and uncle have been together, I want to say 40, 50 years now. They have always been goals for me, marriage goals. So not to say that marriage doesn't work. It works, obviously. But I feel like specifically for our generation, for people our age, marriage seems real ghetto on both ends. Like, you know, we trash talk men all the time. But there's also trash women. Everyone's trash, in my opinion. And it's just like, what are we doing?
I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna say, just pump those brakes a little bit. I feel that men are more trash. If there's a trashometer, I feel like ladies and then men are like, you know, when you hit the thing at the amusement park and it goes shoots up, that's where they are, shooting up out of the sky. They're gone. Like we saw that TikTok that we were talking
yes.
So
so there's this woman in the desert. I sent it to her that she's like, I'm in the desert. Do you want to know why? So she goes on to explain how she's in the desert. She's not in the, she's like on some farm that has been tilled or whatever, but it's like all like there's nothing growing yet. And she's like, she told her husband that she hadn't been feeling herself lately, and that she couldn't recognize herself, being married, having kids, working her job, and, you know, taking care of the family, taking care of the home. She didn't get time to take care of herself, and she doesn't recognize herself.
Right.
So in response to her being open and honest with herself and her mental health, her husband goes, well, what about me? What have you done for me lately? So instead of fighting him, she decided to drive, what did she say, like 2 hours away from her home.
Just walk
and just walk.
Look at this. I mean, men are driving us to just walk in the desert,
just
walk into the sea. Like, we're tired of it. Like, we're done. We don't want to do it. And it's just like, no, we don't have the energy. We've gone through too much. It's 2022.
And that's where the eat the cake anime comes from. Like, we get it. Like, there's a point where it's like, you know, again, going back to society's expectations of we as women, what we should want, how we should want it. So it's like, if you like it, put a ring on it. Because like I have been in relationships where the talk was headed towards that. I was even engaged once, right? And obviously that didn't work out. And then the following person, we were also talking about getting married, and that didn't work out. So it's like, but both times it was like, listen, you say you love me, like, where is this going? Like, those conversations have come up. But then it's like, you have men like that woman's husband who's very much eat the cake anime. It's like, you know, in that movie where this line comes from, and what's love got to do with it, simply because Tina got recognized, someone wanted her autograph, they didn't want Ike's, so he got jealous and is like, oh, we're gonna celebrate, have some cake. I don't want no cake, Ike. Eat the cake anime. Cake. So he had to belittle, he had to like bring her down, like, nah, you're not Tina Turner, you're anime, and you're gonna eat this cake, okay? Because what about me? Why does it have to be about you? And this woman simply was like, yo, bro, not Tina, but the woman on TikTok was like, I'm losing my mind. Ask my husband, hear me out. And he's like, what about me? What have you done for me lately?
But what about if I don't hear you out? And did you make me mac and cheese for dinner?
What about me? Why do I have to listen to you?
Yeah, seems, I feel like I have unwashed underwear that I need you to clean. And are you really?
Damn.
Did you think about me? What am I supposed to wear to work tomorrow?
And again, like I say, I know that how you feel, the ratio is more on the
don't try. Listen. We don't gotta make a false equivalency. We don't have to try to be nice. Nice to who? Nice for what?
What I'm saying,
I have a picture that you made for me that says nice for what? Nice for what? I don't need to lie. I don't need to sit here and lie.
And I think at the end, no, I'm not gonna. No, I agree with you that there's more on that side, and I always blame the patriarchy, because fuck the patriarchy. Everything is the patriarchy's fault. Like, why is there a disproportionate amount of work in a marriage where it falls more work on the woman and the man and all these things? I blame the patriarchy. I'm just gonna say that I will say that even though I agree with you that it could slightly, the barometer, the needle points more to that side. It's just, I think everyone just be better. Stop sucking.
No, I feel like men be better. I feel like ladies, we have it hard enough. We're juggling work and children and bleeding and washing our clothes. Yeah. And putting in our cups and, like, what are you doing? Come on. Like, this is too much. Like I was telling you today, like, I don't know about marriage and children. Like, I like my life. Like, I work, I go out, I do what I want to do. I volunteer, go to the gym. And it's like, I wouldn't have time to do all those things if I had to come home to a spouse and children. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are like, are understanding. Yeah, you can have your balance and you work it out. And I know the person's out there somewhere, but for the most part, like, there's a lot of like compromise and like, okay, I can't do these things. Yeah. And it's like, I gotta go home and I gotta take care of this. I gotta take care of that. And I just feel like I wouldn't be happy. I was in a long-term relationship for like 8 years in my 20s. And I didn't have a lot of hobbies. I didn't have a lot of things that I was doing. So at the time it seemed like fine. I would just go to work. I'd come home. I'd make us dinner.
I crash. I go over.
Yeah, you did. We had our glee nights. But like now that I am more active, I'm like, I don't want to have to, like, I have to come home and cook. Like I worked all day too. Like what? Like, oh, because of your schedule, whatever the case is. Like, I
like to say this. Back in the day, and I was talking to my mom about this in the cab, and the cab driver was also agreeing with you. She hit me with the and and so because I was like, listen, back in the day, not the 90s for you disrespectful Gen Zers, but like in the 40s, 50s, when it was like the man went to work and the woman stayed home because his responsibility was work and her responsibility was take care of the home. That was Nana and Papa, right? If you and I both need to leave the house to make money, then you and I both should cook.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are life skills that you need to have.
I'm a woman. Because I'm a woman.
Right. Like, listen, it's just, there's a lot of expectations out there. I more than anything, it just feels like there's a lot of pressure that you feel like, I'm a woman, I'm getting older. If I'm single, it means there's something wrong with me. If I don't have kids, it means there's something wrong with me. Like they always will ask Jennifer Aniston, Oprah, like, why don't you have kids? Why don't you have kids? And it's like, what? Like, why do I even have to answer that? And it's just like, it bothers me. I just want to live my life.
Yeah. And I think that part of us like getting older, because I was saying this earlier too, I was like, it's not so much that we're learning who we are. It's that we're like more accepting of it and like growing into it more. And I think that's part of, getting it together. It's that, what we thought in our teens and our 20s, like that whole dreaded, like, oh my God, I'm going to turn 30. My life is over. And it's like, your life is not over. And like, and when we were in our 20s, and if I don't know how many older friends you had in your 20s, but a lot of my friends were older than me when I was in college. I have a lot of, shout out to my big sis, you know who you are, girl. And they would say things like, oh no, your 30s is where it's at. Da, 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 like my god sister too. And I'd look at them like, no, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. Like, don't try to make it seem cool, right? But then now we're going to be in our mid 30s. It's like, oh, okay, my bad. Like you were telling the truth.
It's true, because when you think about it, your 20s is such a small part of your life. It's just, it's a decade. And it's like when you're still partly a child, you're like in college, 20 years old, you can't even drink. And so like, it's such a weird time in your life. Like there's no way that can be the best time. How about the best time? Like,
and then you get, it's like and then you try to, I think about me, like trying to stuff all these memories into my 20s. Like, oh, I should have traveled more and I should have done this and I should have done that. And I'm going to be 30 and It's not gonna be, but it's gonna be fun. Why? Because now I have more money.
Right.
I can pay for things
Money.
now.
You have wisdom. We like know ourselves a little bit more, know what we want to do and know what we don't want to do. And that's how I kind of feel about relationships. It's like, what works for you, what doesn't work for you,
Mhm.
when it's a good time, when it's not a good time, when you need to just like, I need to focus on me. I need
Mhm.
to get my shit together. I
Mhm.
need to help
Mhm.
myself, because if
Mhm.
I'm unhappy with myself and I go into another relationship, I'm just gonna bring that
Mhm.
shit to
Mhm. Mhm.
there.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
We
Mhm.
don't
Mhm.
want that.
We don't want that. And as someone who's a serial monogamist, that was a lesson that I had to definitely learn. Like, I I couldn't I couldn't go into the next relationship as like still trying to heal, still trying to learn like what I did and didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then like having to like think about like, okay, what I like, what I don't like, then thinking about like, oh, okay, this is triggering me. Don't project on my partner because I'm still healing from this. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think that you
It's okay
know,
to take your time, basically. It's okay
yeah.
to take your time and don't feel like you have to rush into things just because, like, oh well, I'm getting older, and what if I'm
Mm-hmm.
40 and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
as pretty, or I'm got like my
Mm-hmm.
boobies are gonna sag and
Yeah, no
whatever.
one's
And you're
gonna
like,
want me.
right. And you feel the rush of like, okay, well, I don't really feel like it's a good time for me to do it, but let me just do it now, even though you
Mm-hmm.
know that like I still have a lot of things that are unresolved. And
Mm-hmm.
don't rush yourself. Like, you have more time than you think you have. And that's what I'm realizing. Things
Mm-hmm.
will come
That's
to you,
settle.
things will come to you when they come to you. Yeah, don't settle. Don't do things because you feel, like this is what other people want you to do, or,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to be the one single person at Thanksgiving anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't be the only one. Like, you know what, girl? But are you happy? Are you happy being
Mm-hmm.
single? Like, isn't it
Mm-hmm.
nice being
Mm-hmm.
in your room and it's quiet and no one's bothering you and no one's like
Mm-hmm.
sweating on you when you're sleeping?
I told that to my friend the other day. I was like,
Damp
you
sheets.
know, I sweat, and sometimes it's really good sleep.
I
I
do
drool,
too. I do.
and so it's like, so you want me to sleep on your chest, and so we're both sweaty, and you're gonna
No.
end up with drool on your chest. Just let me roll over and go to sleep on my side of the bed, like.
I wake up, I get night sweats sometimes, and I get like lower back sweats and like my neck. Yeah. And like the under boob and like in the crotch. And
What
I'm
was it
just
that
like,
one time when we were at the swings and you? What did you call it? Swamp ass.
that's what it's called. That's a universal term.
It's a swamp ass. We
That's the
were
universal
sitting on the
term.
swing.
When
All we
you're
were
what,
doing is sitting on the swing, bro. We were just
but
sitting.
when it's all
Swamp
sweat
ass.
in your butt and all that, it's all just sweat, and you just feel it like, this is disgusting.
I like how we like just basically the moral of the story is do what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
If being in a relationship makes you genuinely happy, make sure that it makes you genuinely happy and you're getting into it because you actually want to be in the relationship, not because you feel like you have to. And if you feel
Right.
like it's the time has come and they need to, if they like it, they should have put a ring on it, then go ahead. But make sure you don't get with someone who's going to make you eat the cake that you don't want to eat just because they're jealous. And make it about themselves when you're simply trying to tell them that
Yeah.
something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Help me, help you, help me, help you, help me to help you.
Exactly. And I think this is a great time to jump into our third and final topic on
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
our wins, I guess,
mm-hmm.
for the week and what we're doing
What we
right.
got together
What do
this
we get
week.
together? Do you want to go
So
first?
sure. So what I got together was it sounds very much like I didn't get it together, but it's a happy ending. So my daughter's on spring break, and so I decided, okay, so the weekend before spring break actually starts, I will take her down to Georgia. So I went to Georgia, worked Friday,
Mm.
worked Saturday, Sunday, Monday, wow, worked Friday remote,
Mm-hmm.
worked Monday, Tuesday remote, took a flight back home Tuesday night, and then went to work on site Wednesday morning.
Workaholic.
And my manager and assistant manager and the manager of another department all looked at me like I was crazy.
I told you that too. I was like, girl, take a fucking day off. Like, this is ridiculous. I used to do that. I used to be like on Zoom, but like not really. I'm like, I'm going out.
You go to the dentist? Like, I pray they don't put a meeting where we have to do Zoom, because I'm
bitch, I did a meeting in Washington Square Park once. I sat out there in the snow because I was like, I'm not gonna make it back. So I'm just gonna hope. I hope no crazy person yells behind me. And otherwise I'll be good.
But that was my win this week, that I actually went to work when I was supposed to, and then I made it to work on time, on site.
You know what? Because today at work, I told you 3 people called out. They did not. All 3 of them. They just were like, no, not coming in.
Sunday. Yeah.
They show up for no real reason. They missed out. You missed out, guys, because I brought donuts in today. I went to Dunkin' and I'm glad I almost got a dozen, because I'm like, oh, everyone's gonna be there. But then I got a half dozen because I'm like, I don't know. And I'm glad, because it would have been extra.
Spirit
Because
told
some people had 2, and I'm like, I'm glad, because if I got a dozen, and a dozen donuts, by the way, are like $15.
No, thank you.
I was like, that's a lot.
Nah. Okay, so that was my win. What was your win, Lee?
I got a new job.
Air horn. Confetti cannons.
Yes. I'm gonna be a director.
She's gonna be a director. Bitch she got a staff.
I got a staff, honey.
You know what? Go ahead, tell them.
No, I'm excited. I don't start until next week, but I gotta do the whole thing. I had to do a drug test.
You don't take drugs?
I don't take drugs. I don't do any drugs, which is why I didn't care that it was 420 and everyone was all going crazy, which actually I was like, this is fine for me, because I wasn't going to do anything regardless, because that's not my zhuzh.
It's not her jam.
It's just not what I do. I'm just one of those people. I get very paranoid. I was talking to someone about that. He was like, how do you not get paranoid? And I'm like, I don't know. It just never worked for me. Like, I think there are different strains of it. I'm like, I don't know. It's just
definitely different strands.
But yeah, in college it just was like I would get like the ill paranoia, bro. Like and I didn't like it. No, ma'am. I said, I'm done. I'm a straight edge, and that's how I'm living.
Listen to me. The first time I did the Mary Jane was also in college. And my college friends, not all of them, I mean, actually all of them are assholes, but in varying degrees, and I love them all. They know why. I say it with love. But this one guy knew it was my first time, and specifically did shit to make me feel paranoid. I remember sitting there, and
that's really not right.
I was just like, it was at a house party, and he was just like, Crystal, where are your pants? And I was like, and I'm like, I know you're doing this to be an asshole. And he's like, no, Crystal, but where are your pants? And I was like, my pants are on. He's like, you should look down and check. I was like, I don't have to, because I know that they're on.
You should go to jail.
And he was just like, no, but where are your pants? And why are you laughing? And I'm like, I'm not laughing.
No, wait, that's so triggering when people like I remember being like in college, people be like, oh my God, you're like so high. And you're like, oh my God, am I? Oh my God, you're like tripping right now. And I'm like, am I? And then you're like, oh my God, am I like doing too much?
Listen. But then there was I saw someone make a bong out of a beer can. They were Dominicans. And I saw some guy
have to be Dominican.
My brother, my Dominican brother, and any other Dominicans that might be listening, you understand why I said that he made a bong out of a beer can. You understand. Hookah. We understand. We've seen, don't worry about it. I'll tell you later. But then there was a guy sitting there pretending to read, like he was unwrapping, and I know this happened because everyone else saw it too. So this is not, I didn't imagine this. Everyone else saw it too. This guy was sitting on the, first of all, there was a mattress on the floor. Should have told me everything.
Whoa, no. Immediately no. I seen what I needed to see, and it's just no.
So he's sitting on the floor on the mattress, and he's unwrapping a turban from his head. There's no turban there. He's unwrapping this is college. I don't know what they took,
Crystal.
but he's unwrapping a turban, and he takes the book off his head and starts reading it. And the guy sitting next to him goes, "Yo," and I'm like, I'm gonna go sit in the bathroom and just chill out for a little bit because y'all are doing too much.
That just reminds me of like times that I've been somewhere and I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like, can I just leave?
Like that Alessia Cara song.
The vibes are horrible.
I'm just here for the food.
Atrocious. This is not great. No, and this thank is why, you.
Listen. Sometimes, I told you this the other day, I feel like a lot of the cliches are cliches for a reason. And that was a very much cliche college house party. It's just random shit happening. And I'm just like, I need to get out of here.
Back when they didn't even have Ubers back then. You just had a hope.
Yo,
your friend was sober enough to take you home. Otherwise, you had whatever the taxi was, hope you could had it in your phone, in your Motorola Razr.
I just had to hope that my train was running. I had to walk to the train station by myself.
That's
in that state. Yeah.
That's city life. That wasn't quite my experience, but yeah, anyway, so I got a new job.
Let's get back to the point.
And I'm very excited. Full time. So, we're going to still try to make time for our brand new podcast. We are absolutely going to. But yes, I feel like a big girl now. Like I have like a big girl job. I'm like making monies. I'm like doing things. I'm like, oh, it's just happening. Like things are just coming. Abundance, bitch. And like I told you, where I volunteer, they were like, oh, like, would you want to be a volunteer supervisor? And I was like, they feel it.
Stepped into that director role. I was like, oh,
they felt it.
Director.
They knew.
You're a director.
A director.
That's not cute. So you want like a big girl title? You want to be a supervisor? You want more staff? I'll give you staff. Staff everywhere. You get some staffing. You get some staffing. You get some staff.
Yes, immediately.
And I was like, damn it! Now I need to find a director job.
To everyone who thought I couldn't be a director, ha!
Yeah, fuck those people.
How you like me now?
Fuck those people. I hate them. Always will.
Everyone who thought I couldn't do it.
Everyone, just period. Everyone who thought you couldn't. Fuck those people.
Bam. In your face. Look at me. Yeah, I'm in a sleep t-shirt. I don't care.
I mean, anything could be a sleep t-shirt if you think about it.
I usually, this is like a XXX or something, or like a XX. I'll just get like something like a big old shirt on sale, and I'm like, that's my sleep t-shirt. And that's my PJs, because I don't really like traditional PJs, because they're just too restrictive. When I'm sleeping, I need a loose collar. I need to be able to move, because sometimes I'll be moving.
But so wouldn't too much fabric?
I almost hit someone in the face with an elbow. I did it real quick, and I felt myself moving, and I couldn't stop myself. I don't know what was happening, but sometimes I just get like the jitters, and I just be moving in my sleep, kicking. And
what is it? The meme that says, "Why do men twitch in their sleep?" It's because there's no rest for the wicked.
I twitch in my sleep. Sometimes I'd be like, or like when you fall asleep and you feel like you're falling, and you're,
oh yeah, when you fall asleep too fast, your body jumps. When you hit that REM sleep a little bit too fast.
That's my body. Sometimes I'll just be watching TV, and then it's like, bitch, we're out. And done.
It's like the ending of The Sopranos. Wait, what the fuck just happened?
We blacked out. Is she okay? Is she dead? Wake her up. Wake her up. Wake her up. You left all the lights on, girl. The TV's going. Turn this stuff off.
Chaotic. No.
I will sometimes fall asleep. My room is pretty bright. I've fallen asleep in a bright room like this before. It sounds crazy, but it just happens sometimes.
No.
I mean, you fall asleep on the beach, right? It's the same.
I
like
mean,
in the sunshine.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess because I'm outside and it's daytime, but it's nighttime. Turn off the lights. I don't need artificial sun. Am I a bat? Maybe.
I always like leave my lamp on because I'm like, what if I need something? I don't know what I'm gonna need.
What are you gonna
need? I'm like, what if I need to check? What if? Oh, you know what? What if I want to put the TV on? I gotta get the remote, and I don't want to reach back over. I'll leave it, and then I'll sleep like that.
That's chaotic, and I don't like that.
But that's my chaotic life, and I'm getting it together.
You're getting it together, and it's fine.
We're both getting it together. Yeah, we completed our second episode.
We did. I would like to say thank you to everyone who's listened so far. Thank you so much. We appreciate the text messages and the love.
We do.
It's very exciting.
We do. I told you, people in my family who are like, I want to listen to it. And I'm like, I don't know.
Meanwhile, I bullied my brothers.
You better listen to it. I was like, I'm gonna ask you about it.
It was like, oh, the day after we recorded the first episode, I had sent a text after we finished recording. And then the next day, I'm like, oh, I sent a text to the group chat and none of you said anything. And so
chastised them.
So my older brother called my other two brothers and they were like, oh, you guys, Crystal recorded the episode and we didn't say anything. We ignored her text message.
Bro, she's really mad. We gotta listen now. Oh my God, it's 2 hours. We did a long episode.
And then that was the first note was, you guys did a good job. Too long.
Way too long. So that's why we did our topics. We did our intro, we did our topics. Here we are. We don't want to ramble too much. We did what we're doing right. So notes taken because we're approaching 1 hour. So we don't want to get there. So let's say our goodbyes. And we'll see you next week. I'm Lisa.
I'm Krista.
And you've been listening to
Get It Together, Girl.
Get It Together, Girl. All right, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.